I just want to tell you a little bit about Russ as I knew him. Russ and I showed up in San Francisco the same summer, 1973. Him from Detroit, me from El Paso. First time I ever heard him was at a place called the Holy City Zoo. He was the best lead guitar player I'd ever heard, not for speed or flash, but 'cause every note rang clear and soulful and went straight to the heart. But we didn't meet then. It was a couple of years later, driving in Marin, I recognized him, hitchhiking at the hub. I careened over and slammed on my brakes. "Where you going?" "Fairfax." We discovered that our musical tastes wandered with miles of overlap and parallel. I asked him to play on an album for belly dancers I was working on. He did, and he wrote a song for it called Rabbickin. He said that he composed that tune while lounging around a Harbin hot spring, wearing only his rabbickin. We didn't know then that in a couple of years we'd be in the San Francisco Opera House witnessing acres of red velvet rise to that very sound, Russ's banjo ringing while the Joffrey Ballet dancers flickered across the stage. The song still echoes around the world. Miles and miles of traveling to and from the gigs, that's where friendships are forged. Early trips to El Paso, where we hiked the ridge of Mount Franklin and laughed giddy at midnight in front of La Cantina. The New Writers Tour, where there were no old new writers, just new writers. We met senators, secretaries of state, and even the president, who seemed like he'd rather hang with us than the professors on his docket. The vineyards and harvests, the pressing of grapes, the weddings with their territorial caters and delusional brides. We rode to Long Beach to board a ship and play for a convention of belly dancers, and despite the nudges and winks, you, Russ, were always straight and true and so focused on music to help those dancers weave their spell. Though, once on the ship, I secretly told dozens of them that it was your birthday, and during dinner, on cue, they dragged you out to the dance floor, and that was the only time I ever saw you dance. Our lives were spiced with the ringing of finger cymbals, the rustle of coin belts, the whisper of veils, and the scent of those sirens. Magic. And on the way home once we laughed until it hurt, concocting a movie script about 3 cowboys who were going to make $1 million by driving a herd of snails to New York to sell for escargot. It was going to be called The Really, Really, Really Long Trail. I feel a dissonance, like an unresolved chord since you've gone. I know it's okay. I know you've flown away. I know the angels are happy to have you in their band. Always in tune, always on time. Still, it's a little lonelier out here on the really long trail.